I find a lot of people use the word ignorant or ignorance too often and wrongly. They just throw it out as a label, and it's quite a negative label to put on people, especially when you're wrong. Because there's a difference between being ignorant and being unaware. And you can't blame someone necessarily for being unaware, but it's only once they are aware that they are able to be ignorant. And it's a fact that ignorance is a lifestyle choice. The kind of standardized metaphor for ignorance is the elephant in the room, and I think that is the greatest example ever, really, because whatever room you're in right now, if there was an elephant there, you'd have to work around it. You wouldn't be able to walk from this point to that point without going around it. So it takes you an effort to operate around that situation. And instead of asking what it is, where it came from, where it should be, or anything about it, you operate around it. You have to make an effort to avoid it. You have to be deliberate in your actions to work around the elephant in the room. Well, then that is ignorance. But being unaware, that is the elephant behind the locked door that you never had a key for, which is vastly different. You've never opened it, you never looked in there, you've never had a key for it. You've had no reason to know it was in there. So then when that door is opened and someone shows you it, your reaction to it will then define whether you're ignorant or not. Because if you go, what is it, where did it come from, where should it be, what do we do to look after it, how do we take care of it, what are we meant to do, and you do everything you can to do your best once you have the awareness, then you are not ignorant. But people will just throw ignorant out there, and it is insulting. It's like if you're walking along, you've got your headphones in, and you're just walking along. Doesn't matter how loud I call you, how much I wave my arms, if I'm not in your eye line and you cannot see me, you cannot hear me, you are unaware of me. So I come running over to you, grab you on the shoulder, you pull your headphones out, and I say, what are you ignoring me for? You're not ignoring me. How could you ignore me? You are unaware of my presence. Therefore, you could not be ignoring me. You see how it works? Ignorance is a lifestyle choice. And that's one of the problems I have with that interacting with people, is that I know the difference between unaware and ignorant. And when I find that someone is ignorant, you make them aware, you show them, you lay it out to them, you make it clear to them. It is there, it is present, it then becomes the elephant in the room. It's no longer behind a locked door. It's there, it's in the room. And then they do everything they can to function around it. They make effort to avoid it. They make effort to work around it. Well, then that is an ignorant person. So don't be too quick to label people as ignorant. Work out whether they're aware or not. It's like in English we use the word Philistine for people who reject the arts. In German, I was talking to a guy when I was out there. He was saying they use the word Philister, which is someone who is unaware. They haven't had the luxury, they haven't had the fortune, they haven't had the opportunity to experience it and know it. So therefore they're not rejecting it, they're just unaware of it. And it's very much the same as that difference between ignorance and unaware. But once someone is aware, well, then you find out whether they're ignorant or not. So you have to give them a certain amount of opportunity, you have to give them some chances, you have to at least explain, you have to make the effort to make them aware. And then from that, you find out whether they're ignorant or not. And I really do struggle with people who are genuinely ignorant, because there is no way to make any progress with them. It's right there, they can see it's there, they know it's there, they know what it is, they know everything about it, and they still make every effort they can to operate around it. And it really is a lifestyle choice. So yeah, just take a bit more time before you brand and label people as ignorant. And when someone does put something upon you, don't be afraid of the fact that you were never aware of it before. Don't try to continue to deny it once you are aware of it. Everything's a two-way street. Communication is 50-50. Look at why we are failing to communicate. Don't always put it all on the other person. And if they try to explain to you why we are failing to communicate, don't think that they're putting it all on you. Because then all you'll be is ignorant.